afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here on a weekend. I have here with me my colleague, Joint Secretary, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Mrs. Sripriya Ranganathan, who is the points person relating to our relations with Bangladesh. And the primary focus of our discussions or our briefing today is the visit of the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh and the meeting of the Joint Commission between India and Bangladesh. Following this, if any of you are interested on any other issues, I will try and respond to that. But the primary level area of focus today is the Joint Consultative Commission meeting. So with those introductory remarks, let me try and explain to you what were the main areas of focus. Well, the visit of the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh is the first visit of a senior high dignitary from Bangladesh after the election of the new government in India, as well as after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had been elected for a second term. So in both the countries, there are new foreign ministers. They, of course, had met previously, but this is the first visit high level from Bangladesh to India following these two important electoral events in Bangladesh and in India. This is the third meeting of the Joint Commission. As you are perhaps aware, the last meeting was in Dhaka in March 2013. Prior to that, there was a meeting in New Delhi in 2012. The Joint Commission itself was set up in 2011. The Bangladeshi delegation, before they participated in the Joint Commission, that is their foreign minister, had met all our senior leadership. This included calls on the President, the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, and other important leaders. As regards the Bangladeshi delegation, it had 7 secretaries apart from the foreign minister, so that you will understand the breadth of engagement between India and Bangladesh. And the Joint Commission is the primary interface between our two countries to address a variety of issues that as neighbors we are engaged in. What I will try and do is to focus on some broad themes, and if you have any questions, then Joint Secretary Ms. Sripriya Ranganathan and I will try and answer them. But let me try and focus on some broad themes. As regards India and Bangladesh, the 3 broad themes that I can say were focused on during the Joint Commission meeting today were commercial ties, connectivity, and cooperation. And by cooperation, I mean in areas of development partnership, as well as in newer areas. Now, let me try and explain to you what I mean by each of these. Let's take commercial ties first. Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in South Asia. The bilateral trade between Bangladesh and India is approximately $6 billion. You are perhaps aware that for some time we have been requesting Bangladesh to permit a special economic zone for Indian industrialists who can invest there. I'm glad to report to you today that during the course of the Joint Commission, the Bangladeshi Foreign Minister has informed the External Affairs Minister that Bangladesh is ready to provide a location where Indian businessmen can invest from a list of 16 locations that they have provided. We will certainly examine this and respond. This we see as an extremely positive development, which will also in part address issues of balance of trade. We are sensitive to Bangladeshi concerns that the balance of trade is in favor of India, and they need to address that. For this, there was a discussion where, as you are aware, in terms of tariff, there are hardly any tariff barriers between India and Bangladesh. They have duty-free access to Indian market, except for about 25 items. From the Bangladeshi side, they feel that there may be some non-tariff issues that need to be addressed. They have provided us a list of these non-tariff issues that they would like us to address. Our Commerce Ministry will have a look at it, and we will try and respond to them, because we are sensitive that there is a need to address this. From our side, we feel that it is important to try and address border infrastructure, because it will help in reducing transaction costs. The second element of the Cs that I indicated, apart from commercial ties, was connectivity. On connectivity, broadly, I can report to you 3 areas where there have been progress. Number 1, the Maitri Express will, beginning from 23rd September, have 1 additional coach which will provide for additional people to travel between India and Bangladesh. We are also working on the possibility of increasing its frequency between India and Bangladesh. Currently, there are 2 trains a week, and the expectation is that if we can sort all this out, there would be perhaps 3 train journeys a week. Apart from the train, there was also progress on matters relating to the bus. And the commencement of the Guwahati-Shillong-Dhaka bus was discussed, and it was agreed that a trial run will be undertaken by the end of the year. So, 3 new initiatives, 1 in terms of the bus, 1 in terms of the train, and finally 1 more. There was a discussion in terms of coastal shipping, and there has been progress made, and we hope to work towards an early agreement between India and Bangladesh on coastal shipping. On all 3 fronts, there has been progress. We then come to issues of cooperation, and I'll try and outline 2 elements of cooperation. Number 1, our development partnership cooperation with Bangladesh. As you are aware, we had announced some years ago a 1 billion LOC to Bangladesh, of which 200 million was converted into grant aid, and the other was long-term assistance. That was 800 million. Out of the 800 million, there were 15 projects which have been approved, and the total amount was in excess of 750 million that has already been earmarked. 7 of those projects are completed, and we discussed how to move ahead with newer forms of cooperation in areas where Bangladesh and India mutually agree on a priority basis to consider new LOCs for specific projects. And we will work on these and decide in the near future. Then we come to the newer areas of cooperation, and these relate to science and technology related things. I can tell you that we had discussions on possibilities of cooperation in the nuclear field and in space. We will move on these 2 high technology areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh as soon as we receive a request from Bangladesh of specific areas. There have been some initial discussions, and they will now work, because both these are sophisticated areas of technology which India is willing to share its experiences with Bangladesh, and therefore it requires greater focus and attention, and we are working on that. That comes to the last area of discussion, and that was security cooperation, along with cooperation in terms of our border. We have very good cooperation on these things. The Home Secretaries had recently met. There has been further progress on deepening that cooperation, and at today's meeting, as part of this cooperation, it was agreed that the district magistrates and district commissioners from each side are grouped into 9 clusters of groups. And the first cluster of this will meet in October this year. Also, we have invited that early next year, all the district magistrates and all the district collectors of areas, border areas contiguous between India and Bangladesh could meet together. So we are beginning with a small cluster this year, and next year there would be a meeting of all the district magistrates and all the district collectors on the Bangladeshi side and on the Indian side together, and this will be held in India. So if I can summarize for you from this, the meeting was extremely productive, and Bangladesh and India have extremely close and warm relations, and these were reflected in the discussions. Yes, following the conclusion of the Joint Commission meeting, the External Affairs Minister and the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh also witnessed the signing of an MOU between Bangladesh and India on the Nalanda University and cooperation on that. Bangladesh is the first country outside the East Asia Summit process which has signed the Nalanda University MOU. You are aware that the Nalanda University was yesterday formally inaugurated at its Rajgir campus by the External Affairs Minister, and this is a good development that following that inauguration yesterday, the first non-East Asia Summit country to support this process has joined today, and we are grateful to Bangladesh for that. So in a sense, what has happened today has deepened our relationship, is also evidence of the growing ties that we have between India and Bangladesh. The floor is now open for any questions that you may want to ask. Yes, sir. Just a minute. He'll get to the mic.
Sir, both the foreign minister met yesterday and today. They met the Bangladesh foreign minister, met the Prime Minister of India as well as the Foreign Minister of India. So what is the outcome of this latest position of land boundary agreement, TISTA agreement, and also release of Anup Chetia from Bangladesh to India? What is the progress?
You are asking 3 questions in one. I will give chances to 2 others to ask the other 2 questions. You are aware that I only answer 1 question at a time. So, you choose what you want, Tista? I'll allow you to choose what you want, then the next person. All right, I'll start with Tista. Let me try and formulate our views on this. Now, water is a sensitive subject. It is an issue that touches on the lives and the livelihood of people in ways that few other things touch upon. Hence, it needs to be addressed in a manner that is fair, in a manner that is equitable, and in a manner that none of the parties concerned feel that their interests are being harmed. We are committed to giving it due attention. And the External Affairs Minister made it very clear to the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh that India is conscious that this is a matter of priority for Bangladesh. And she also clarified to him that given the principles that I have outlined to you, we require a political consensus to be worked out in India, and that process is underway. While that process is underway, the waters of the Teesta flow unimpeded. Yes, next question. No, just 1 minute. It's over. Your chance is over. Yes, now what do you want? Ask.
It's over, sir. What your Teesta?
Pardon? Teesta is finished. Yes, anybody raise their hand and ask. Yes. Yes.
What is the status of the land boundary issue between India and Bangladesh?
I think it's no surprise that the bill for this was introduced in the Rajya Sabha and therefore it has not lapsed. The External Affairs Minister has informed her counterpart today that this bill was referred to the Standing Committee of Parliament on External Affairs. Now, the Standing Committees of Parliament on External Affairs consist of members of both the houses. And they have only recently been reconstituted because there is a new Lok Sabha and new membership of the Lok Sabha. And the External Affairs Minister informed now that the new Standing Committee is constituted, the bill has been given to those new members of the Lok Sabha who have been nominated to the External Affairs Ministry's Standing Committee. And the process of political consultations on that is underway. Once the Standing Committee gives its report, it will go through the normal process of Parliament. Yes, ma'am.
Rima Sharma from DY 365. My question is regarding the free visa to the Bangladeshi. Can you elaborate what is happening and what is the status of this? To whom you want to give free visa to Bangladeshis?
This is a concept that I don't know about. What is this? Maybe I'll ask my colleague if she knows about it, but there is no such concept that I heard about. However, I'll ask Sri Priya if there is any such concept she's ever heard of.
No, I have not heard of any such concept. I think this has been talked about and debated at great length, and it has been clarified in this very room by this very spokesperson that what had been that there was no such issue or no such proposal on the table as far as Bangladesh is concerned.
Chance on Bangladesh? Yes, Sinja.
Sir, there are reports that the Bangladesh Foreign Minister has informed the Indian government that some of the money from the Sharoda Chit Fund went to the Jamaat in Bangladesh. If that is so, will the information be passed on to the relevant investigating agencies, and can the investigation start after that?
Srinjoy, I've been hearing these reports only among in the media. Let me clarify once and for all. I had twice before said that this matter did not come through us despite media reports that you had said that it was raised in Bangladesh and conveyed to the Ministry of External Affairs. And I can confirm today that there was no such report of the type you are mentioning that was raised, that there is something happening here and the Bangladesh Prime Minister asked. This issue did not figure in the discussions. Yes, sir. So let's put it to rest once and for all. This is the third time I'm answering this question, and you are aware that consistently I have said this has not figured in diplomatic discussions. Yes, Ranjit.
Yeah, can you elaborate on the possible areas of cooperation in the nuclear field? Is there any agreement already in place for cooperation?
You know, Ranjit, nuclear agreements are not done in secret. If there is an agreement, we will certainly share it with you. You are aware that even when we work towards nuclear cooperation agreements, all of you are aware of it well in advance of when they are signed. So please don't ever think that such agreements are done behind your watchful gaze. Everything that is done will be done in front of you. That said, India has a well-established nuclear establishment, and nuclear power by its very nature requires human resource skills. At this stage, Bangladesh is considering nuclear as an option that they may finally opt for. So the first thing that is done in such things is to develop human resource potential and capabilities and enhancement of human resources. That is the possible area that we can go down at this stage, but we await from Bangladesh a wish list that they may want us to assist them in, and we will be glad to assist them in any area of the kind I have indicated to you, because our nuclear establishment is now more than 50 years old and has a tradition and skills that are unparalleled in the developing world. Yes, Gautam?
On the cooperation front, was there any discussion on the, other than Tista, the water sharing on other rivers, like, or any meeting for the GRC has been called?
I can't say that there was any specific discussion on the sharing of the waters of the other rivers. There are 54 rivers which are in common between, which are shared rivers between India and Bangladesh. And there has been an agreement reached that the next meeting of the JRC will be held at mutually convenient dates. The dates have not yet been fixed, but that the meeting will take place in Dhaka, and that all issues pertaining to our shared waters would be discussed on that occasion.
No other chance. No other chance. You tell your friend and he can ask. Yes, please. Yes.
Ma'am, yeah, Tipairmukh power project have discussed this please today? Tipairmukh power project?
It's gone off again. It's working? Okay. Not in any detail at all, but we are conscious that this is an area of interest to Bangladesh, and decision has been taken that there would be a meeting of the subgroup on Tipaimukh, which is constituted under the JRC, to go into to discuss this aspect further. But no, it was not discussed in detail between the two foreign ministers.
Yes, Charu.
Sir, ma'am, I just want to check. You mentioned about space cooperation as one of the issues that was discussed in space. Can you just elaborate on what are some of the broad areas that they think we could help them with? Is it in terms of launch of satellites, or in terms of coordination, or is it again in mainly human resource development, as you mentioned in nuclear?
This again, we have had very preliminary discussions at the technical level with Bangladesh, and we have put the offer on the table that whatever it is that they feel that they can gain by collaborating with us, whatever be the form, we have given them more or less carte blanche to tell us what they would like to do. So we are awaiting the response, really.
Yes, Naz.
What are the non-tariff issues that Bangladesh wants India to address?
Yeah, you can answer.
These again, we have been talking about this for a while, and there is, I'd say, a perception in Bangladesh that there are restrictions that have been imposed by us, which is preventing the growth of their exports to the extent that they can. There have been concerns expressed about testing and standards and so on. These are issues which are, we have just received kind of a list of the non-tariff barriers which Bangladesh believes is impeding the growth of their exports. So our Commerce Ministry is looking at it. But having said that, I think the more significant issue is what our spokesperson has already mentioned, which is that the more concrete way of really taking Bangladeshi exports to India to the next level is to encourage Indian investment over there. And that is what we have, that is the route along which we are hoping to proceed in the months to come.
Yes, sir.
Is there any possibility Prime Minister Modi will be visiting Dhaka soon? Has it been discussed?
Yeah. The Bangladeshi Prime Minister has previously invited Prime Minister, as has an invitation gone from us to for Sheikh Hasina to visit here at an early date. At this stage, given that these are issues that we will discuss a little later, but I can confirm to you that both have agreed to meet on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly when both will be present there during the last week of this month. So we will take it from there. There will be a meeting between the two prime ministers in New York on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly, and that's the next meeting that which will also be the first meeting of the two prime ministers. Yes, just a minute.
Was the issue of illegal immigration from Bangladesh discussed in this meeting?
I would say that the broader issue of border management and the need for enhancing border security was discussed, and in that context, how best we can ensure that that all kinds of criminal activities, be it smuggling, be it movement of fake currency, all aspects of an anti-national, anti-social nature were discussed.
Yes, sir.
Regarding the balance of trade, specific regarding the balance of trade, is there any specifics from that Bangladesh side? You have already told about these SEZs and probable places. Now, how it can, any specific suggestions from there, and what kind of Indian businessmen would be interested in setting up industry?
Well, before I ask Sripriya to give you a background, let me say that, it's noticed that wherever opportunities for, let me try and put in one or two examples also, but the hope is that once you have these opportunities for Indian investment in Bangladesh, then they will develop complementarities between Indian industry and maybe, for example, auto parts. Ancillary units in Bangladesh there to provide some auto-related equipment in India. This is one area, but I'm certain there are many other areas. The idea is to start a process where investment from India starts flowing into Bangladesh, and automatically that will negate the need for exports in that specific area, and it will reverse and help in exports from Bangladesh to India. But if there are any specifics, I'll ask Sripriya to mention.
No, I think that is precisely the line of thinking which is being pursued, which is that if Indian industry actually is enabled to set up manufacturing facilities in Bangladesh, then not only will this, in a sense, enable us to exploit the kind of complementarities that we enjoy. Other related initiatives which are on the agenda, such as the efforts that we are making to promote coastal shipping. Now, if these kind of things come through, then we believe that there would be so much of improvement in the competitiveness of what is being produced by Bangladesh, that it would not only be able to very easily find a market in India and thereby meet the needs of Indian industry and Indian consumers in India, but also meet third country needs. So that is broadly the framework within which we are thinking. And the efforts that are underway on connectivity on all fronts, the coastal shipping initiative I mentioned already, we are also trying to see what we can do along reinforcing railway links, improving the infrastructure at the border, the LCSs and the ICPs, to a lesser extent, of course, the border huts, because their mandate and ambitions are far more limited. I think in all these manners, we are hoping that there would be not only an increase in overall bilateral trade, but also an increase in Bangladeshi component of exports.
Well, if there's nothing else on Bangladesh, okay. No, I'll never allow. Yeah, I understand. Tell your colleagues to ask. Yes, Ranjana?
Yeah, any chance of Sheikh Hasina coming this year?
I think I responded to that let's take one step at a time, that there are invitations both from us to them, from our Prime Minister to their Prime Minister, also from their Prime Minister to our Prime Minister. However, the first step is their meeting on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly in New York later this week. Let's take it from there. Yes, sir. No, let's finish Bangladesh. Anyone else? If it's such an important question that he has raised, can any one of you ask for him that question? On Bangladesh? No, other we will deal with it, one by one. You will get only one chance. No. Anyone else? See, there are no takers for your question. If it is so important, they should take. No, well, I think then we will move to... No, my colleague has to go for another meeting. So, no, you already asked your question. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. We will now move to other issues. And because she has to go for another meeting. Thank you very much, Sripriya. Yes, I am now available for any other question that you may want to ask. Let's go one by one.
There were reports that Vigneswaran, the Chief Minister of Northeast Sri Lanka, was expected to come to India and meet the Prime Minister. Is it correct? And do you have any idea what dates are there, if at all?
Well, first the dates come out in your reports, then I know about it. So let me tell you that there are plans for some stage for him to come here. We have not yet worked out any confirmed dates. Yes, sir.
How would you react to Bilawal Bhutto's comments where he says that all of Kashmir belongs to Pakistan and he will fight for every inch?
I don't need to comment on any comment that is made which is so far away from reality, which takes us back into the past century. We are in the process of looking forward. And looking forward does not mean that our borders will be changed. We've made it very clear that as far as we are concerned, the integrity and unity of India is non-negotiable. And that counts for anyone.
अकबर चुमार और धामचुक में स्थिति जस की तस बनी हुई है, कोई स्टैंड लिया गया है इस प्रॉब्लम को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए?
If I can answer that question in English, diplomacy is not like instant coffee. It works in ways that it's difficult for people who are not engaged in it to perceive and understand what is happening. You are aware that India has at the highest level taken this up. You are aware of what our public statements on these are. Therefore, my request to you is to allow this process to function. Rather, I know it is not amenable to television, which requires every half an hour an update. And that's why I said diplomacy is not instant coffee. But let me assure you, the process which was initiated by the Prime Minister is being carefully followed and await its outcome. Yes, sir.
सर नेक्स्ट वीक पीएम का बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट यूएस विजिट होने वाला है. आई एम श्योर कि उसके लिए आप अलग से ब्रीफ करेंगे, लेकिन क्या आप इतना बता सकते हैं कि इस इम्पोर्टेंट विजिट में ईएम भी साथ में होंगी?
As you rightly said, that the Prime Minister's visit is a very important one, and we certainly will devote a full session to explaining to you how we perceive the entire visit and what we are hoping to achieve from it. That said, if your question is the External Affairs Minister also visiting around the same time, let me try and give you an idea of her program, and that will answer the question that you asked without me impinging on the Prime Minister's visit, because that requires a separate program. the External Affairs Minister will be visiting New York for the United Nations General Assembly session. She will proceed there on the 23rd night and will be there from the 24th onwards. She is expected to participate in a series of meetings. These are, let me try and get for you, yes. These will be bilateral in nature, that is, those foreign ministers she hasn't met previously. And I'll just give you examples because there is a huge, huge list. For example, the new Secretary of State of the United Kingdom, Mr. Philip Hammond. As you are aware, the former Secretary of State, Mr. William Hague, had come here, and therefore the new, subsequently, there is a new Secretary of State, he will meet her. And there is a whole host of other meetings which we will list out to you a little later. So the External Affairs Minister will have bilateral meetings. In addition, she will participate in a large number of what you could call plurilateral events. For example, the G4 Foreign Ministers meeting in New York, which is held among the foreign ministers of India, Japan, Brazil, and Germany on Security Council reform. She will also participate in the Commonwealth Foreign Ministers meeting. There are meetings planned of the IBSA, that is India, Brazil, and South Africa, a ministerial meeting of that. The SAARC foreign ministers are planning to have a luncheon meeting. The External Affairs Minister will participate in that. She will also meet all the GCC foreign ministers at the India GCC foreign ministers meeting. Similarly, there is a meeting planned between India and CELAC. CELAC is the grouping in Latin America and Central America, and she will meet with the troika of those. That is, my understanding, it will be Costa Rica is the pro tem president, Cuba, and there will be perhaps also Ecuador. In addition, there is a BRICS ministerial meeting. The External Affairs Minister will participate in that meeting. And you are aware that India is a member of the CMAG. And she will also meet the CMAG ministers at a meeting. Yes, there are other group meetings. For example, the G77 ministerial meeting. She will participate in that. There is a ministerial meeting of the Committee on Palestine. The External Affairs Minister intends to participate in that also. There are other requests. There is a meeting of the G15 foreign ministers. In effect, what I'm trying to give you is a picture where she is likely to interact with more than 100 foreign ministers in various capacities, bilateral, plurilateral, multilateral. Finally, she will, of course, join the Prime Minister when he is in New York and will be part of his delegation. And therefore, our answer to your question in a roundabout manner is that yes. Finally, you are aware that October 2nd, that is Mahatma Gandhiji's birthday, is celebrated as United Nations Day of Nonviolence. And the External Affairs Minister will participate on October 2nd in activities related to the UN Day of Nonviolence. So she will precede the Prime Minister to the United States, and she will stay back after the Prime Minister returns so that she can also participate in an international event relating to Mahatma Gandhiji's birthday celebrations internationally. Yes, no, Ranjit, you are over. Yes, Dipanjan?
Regarding this, what would be the, will External Affairs Minister travel to Washington from there?
Pardon? Yes, she will join the Prime Minister's delegation in New York, and then she will continue to be in the delegation.
To Washington, and then come back?
Yes. Don't ever doubt these things. It's a very bad habit. You are always doubting. I wouldn't have explained to you all these things and say that she will stay back. So, But I will not reveal the whole delegation of the Prime Minister because that requires a separate briefing. But let me be very clear so that you don't have any doubts on that score at all. She will proceed, she will be with the Prime Minister, and she will stay back. Am I clear, Deepanjan? Thanks. No? Anyone else? Yeah, just. Yeah, Priyanka?
This is about India-Africa summit in December. There are reports that it has been postponed. Is it true?
Yeah, the India-Africa Forum Summit was scheduled to be held in December, you're right. We have decided to defer these for the present. Fresh dates will be worked out in consultation with the African Union Commission. We've already informed our friends in Africa about this, and we will now work with the African Union Commission for fresh dates, which will be in 2015. Yes, there was somebody. Yes, sir.
सर यूएन की मीटिंग में जो पाकिस्तानी प्राइम मिनिस्टर है उनसे भी मुलाकात है क्या?
मैंने आपको बता दिया था कि प्रधानमंत्री के मीटिंग्स के बारे में एक अलग बातचीत होगी. आज हम प्रधानमंत्री के विजिट के बारे में नहीं बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उस विजिट के बारे में हम आपको विस्तार में बताएंगे और अगले हफ्ते बताएंगे. जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि हम जब विजिट होती है उससे चंद दिन पहले बताते हैं कि वो प्रोग्राम क्या है. आप थोड़ा धैर्य रखिए, हम कोशिश कर आपको सारे डिटेल्स बताएंगे प्रधानमंत्री के प्रोग्राम के बारे में, लेकिन अगले हफ्ते. No? Anyone else or everybody is exhausted? Oh, you didn't ask? Yes. Okay. Yes, fine.
But it relates to the earlier briefing, Bangladesh.
Yes.
Actually, I was saving my question for another, but it has come.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, everyone wanted to know about.
Everyone wanted to know. You are the spokesperson for everyone.
Everyone.
This is the new designation we have for you. Yes.
About Anup Chetia, the status of Anup Chetia return to India. Was this talked and all?
Pardon?
Anup Chetia's.
What's his status? He is in Bangladesh.
But is he coming? Was there any?
Is he coming? We are not going to tell you in advance. If your question is, look, let me explain. If your question is what is discussed, my answer is yes. But I'm not going to tell you what is going to be the outcome of something which has not yet been. Once it is over, we will let you know. But if your question is whether this issue was discussed, my answer to you is yes. This was raised and was part of the discussions. Thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of this event. Thank you.